We're celebrating a very special birthday, a very special anniversary today of one of the oddest marriages in all history. It's amazing this couple has actually lasted to their golden anniversary 50 years later. I'm speaking of the Universalist Church of America and the American Unitarian Association. 50 years ago today, the merger between the two, or shall we say the combination between the two, was made official. And we are very privileged today to have a representative, an eminent representative of the UUA, the combined outfit, to give us his reflections on the 50th anniversary. Eugene Pickett.
As Edmund said, 50 years ago today, the Universalist Church of America joined with the Unitarian Universalist Association to become the Unitarian Universalist Association. My main memory of the meeting in Boston where a merger was established was the worship service at Symphony Hall. It was a festive occasion which included members of the Boston Symphony and a very long sermon by Donald Harrington, minister of the Community Church in New York. It was over 50 years ago that I began my ministry in Miami, Florida. It was an exciting time of renewal for the Unitarian movement. New fellowships were being formed, and there was a mood of expansion and enthusiasm. Contributing to this optimism was the possibility of the Unitarians merging with the Universalists. There had been a considerable amount of cooperation between the two small denominations, and now it was felt that a structural union of the two would enhance the potential for growth and for greater influence in the larger society, that liberal religion would have a stronger presence in North America. In 1960, these two denominations joined to become the Unitarian Universalist Association. Dana Greeley, president of the Unitarians, was elected to be the first president. Greeley was a forceful and charismatic leader, and his administration began with a burst of new programs and expanded staff. Civil rights and peace were high on the agenda for moving to the larger society. Despite these bold initiatives, controversies within the association and the dynamic changes taking place within the American society in the 60s thwarted the optimistic hopes of this new liberal religious movement. Desegregation and integration were the goals of our racial justice efforts, but the rise within the civil rights movement of the Black Power movement had serious consequences for our movement. To oversimplify, the Black Power movement within the UUA, with its demand for a sizable sum of money for its own empowerment, seriously fractured the association, especially because these demands ran counter to our emphasis on integration. By the end of Greeley's 8 years in office, the association was running out of money due to overexpansion, and the membership was bitterly divided over the Black Power demands and over the opposition to the Vietnam War. The bright beginning began to fade. When the new president, Robert West, took office, he faced a severe financial crisis, which was further exacerbated by the association's decision to have our publishing house, the Beacon Press, publish the Pentagon Papers, a courageous decision which no other publisher would make. But publishing costs and legal fees threatened to bankrupt the association. Coming to the financial rescue was a small congregation on Long Island, New York. The Plandome Church had received a bequest of royalties on natural gas and oil stocks in Germany. What at first appeared to be stock of little value turned out to produce many millions of dollars a year in income. The church has generously shared its increasing wealth with the association over these past 50 years. Despite the controversies and conflicts, the association published the groundbreaking About Your Sexuality curriculum for teenagers. It established an Office of Gay Concerns, and the influence of the women's movement was beginning to have a positive effect on UUA policies and programs. By the end of the 70s, the financial situation had stabilized, but budget, staff, and programs had been cut, membership was declining, and morale among both the lay people and the ministry was low. When I became president of the association in 1979, the task was clear. We had to begin healing our divisiveness, halt our decline in numbers, secure more adequate funding, revitalize our education programs, and speak more effectively to the pressing social issues of the time. We made growth our top priority. We began a new approach to fundraising by establishing the Friends of the UUA, an appeal directed to individual members. We negotiated with the Plandome congregation for $30 million in endowment funds. In order to articulate more clearly our Unitarian Universalist identity, we began a denomination-wide dialogue, which resulted in our widely accepted statement of principles and purposes. Our extension efforts halted our membership decline. In the following years, succeeding administrations have improved and strengthened and enlarged these initiatives. But in spite of the controversies and difficulties encountered in the early years, the merger of the Unitarians and Universalists has proved to be a good and positive venture. And while we remain a small religious movement, we have seen modest gains in growth and have developed a distinctive identity. We have developed a theology centered on intellectual honesty, tolerance, interdependence, compassion, and a vision of a more just and peaceful world. In these 50 years, we have become much more inclusive and pluralistic in our religious beliefs and in our religious communities. We have humanists, Christians, Jewish, Buddhist, and earth-centered worshiping Unitarian Universalists. We are the first denomination to achieve a 50-50 gender balance in our ordained clergy and have been among the first to welcome openly gay, lesbian, and transgendered persons not only into our pews, but also to our pulpits. A new hymn book was published in 1993 in which Helen was very much involved to give artistic expression to our increased diversity and to serve as a unifying force for our pluralistic membership. We have elected an African American and a Hispanic president, but we have yet to elect a woman to that position. Our accomplishments since merger have been significant, but we still have much work to do to make liberal religion more available to persons seeking a liberal faith and to becoming a more influential voice for a democratic and just society and a world